Episode 7. The warrior and the priest. The promise had been made. The altars built. The breath remembered. But peace never lasts in a fractured world, because the false kingdom doesn't sleep, and war came. In the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar. Genesis chapter 14, verse 1. 4 kings, rulers of the east. Kedorlaomer, the warlord of Elam, and 3 others bound by blood and conquest. They crushed the lands like a hammer, city after city, tribe after tribe. 12 years they had served Kedorlaomer, but in the 13th year they rebelled. Genesis chapter 14, verse 4. So Kedorlaomer returned with fury. He tore through the Rephaim, the Zuzim, the Emim, the Horites. He reached the plains, and there Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, and Bela marched to meet him. 5 kings against 4, false kingdoms built on sand and pride. Now the valley of Siddim was full of bitumen pits. Genesis chapter 14, verse 10. Ashport, tar sludge, the ground itself a trap. And when the battle broke, the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. They didn't die in glory. They fell in pits. And as they fled, some fell into them, and the rest fled to the hill country. Genesis chapter 14, verse 10. The false kingdoms, swallowed by their own foundation. Sodom's armies shattered, its gates torn open. Lot was taken, along with everything he owned, because when you pitch your tent near darkness, don't be surprised when it claims you. But Abram heard. He armed his 318 trained men, born in his house, and pursued them as far as Dan. Genesis chapter 14, verse 14. A shepherd, now a general. He didn't ask for help, didn't wait for signs. The breath stirred, and he moved. He divided his forces by night and struck them. Genesis chapter 14, verse 15. Slaughter, confusion, a rout. The kings of the east humiliated, their captives freed. Lot, his family, all returned. But as Abram came back, another king appeared, not from the valley, not from the false cities, from Salem. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. Genesis chapter 14, verse 18. Bread and wine, before Passover, before the cross. He was priest of God Most High, and he blessed Abram. Genesis chapter 14, verses 18 to 19. No lineage, no temple, just a priest and a king, a shadow of the one to come. Blessed be Abram by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. Genesis chapter 14, verse 19. And Abram gave him 1/10 of everything. Genesis chapter 14, verse 20. Not to a throne, not to a crown, to the breath, to the mystery, to the promise. But then came the king of Sodom, ash still on his cloak, bitumen on his boots, fleeing, now bargaining. Give me the people, keep the goods for yourself. Genesis chapter 14, verse 21. A deal, a trade. But Abram had made a vow. I have lifted my hand to the Lord, God Most High. I will not take a thread or a sandal strap or anything that is yours. Genesis chapter 14, verses 22 to 23. He wanted nothing from a fallen king. No bribe, no cut of stolen gold, because the breath is not for sale, and the promise doesn't come from men. Abram didn't fight for profit. He fought for redemption. He didn't kneel to Sodom. He tithed to Melchizedek, because deep down he knew this wasn't about war. This was about worship. In the next episode, Abram is given a vision, a covenant sealed in blood and fire, and a prophecy of slavery. and of freedom, a promise that even darkness cannot break. If you hear the whisper, if something deep inside aches to remember, hit like, hit subscribe, share this with someone who knows. The garden isn't gone. It's hidden, and the breath is still alive inside you.